So out for a ride with Steve today. Sort of left him for dead there a bit. I was being a hoon trying out my new lower gearing, so I've changed the rear sprocket, gone to a 48 tooth now. With the tyres I've got on, works out to 18.5% lower gearing, because the tyres are a bit oversized, so they sort of make up for some of the reduction I brought on through the actual sprockets themselves. So the combination I'm running now is a 1348, and gosh, this bike's just like a tractor now. Unbelievable. Really, it just lugs at low revs. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So what do we got up now? 8,162 Ks on the CRF. Probably time for a bit of a review. It's not the same bike. It's had a lot of modifications. So we've got the gearing changes, which is now, as I said, 1348. I'm running Motos tyres front and back. We've got the Extreme Hybrid on the back, which is proven to be my favourite tyre. It's not noisy on the road, but off-road, just unbelievable grip. It just digs. Yeah, you get into something really slippery and feel as though you're about to lose traction, and then this thing just bites, drives you forward. On the front I've got the Motos Mountain Hybrid. Again, it's loosely based on a trials tyre. The great thing about it is that it's gotten rid of the last bit of discomfort I had around the stability on the front wheel. It's not slipping at all anymore. I'm really pleased with it. So that's the old Motos tyres, front and back, loving them. The exhaust I've changed. That had two benefits. Gives me more power. Once I opened the airbox up, I've also put the EJK fuel programmer in, so I'm getting a few extra ponies out of the old girl. And I'm loving it. Sounds better. And the other advantage is it's considerably lower. Not considerably lower, considerably lighter. And that's weight from high up on the bike that's just gone now. So the exhaust has been one of the changes that I love most about this bike now. What else have I done? I've got the bark busters, got some new grips on the way because I've worn this set out. So back to the bike. Rear suspension, YSS gas emulsion shock. Absolutely night and day between that and the sanded shock, because these bikes are terribly undersprung from stock. It's a lot firmer, so it does take some of the comfort of the ride away. It's not the best aftermarket shock you can buy for these, but certainly, well, in Australia, probably the best value for money one. Certainly, I unfortunately couldn't afford the Racetech rear shock because there was no other option really but Racetech for the front shock. I've gone with a Racetech front, and when I can afford it, I'll do the gold valves as well. I haven't done the gold valves as yet. Doesn't particularly faze me, because by changing the front, this is something I actually didn't expect, but by firming up the front end, it actually fixed to a large extent the problem with the front just washing out on me. It must have just been that, well, it's weird because I haven't done anything with the compression damping, it's just having a firmer front fork, but it certainly helped the handling of the front end a lot. So with those, both the ends of the bike now being reasonably sorted, I've got one, like I said, one further modification to do to the front fork, but it's pretty close. Really happy with it. Done a bunch of ergonomic things. Foot pegs, gone the fast way. Evo Air foot pegs. I've got Zeta gear lever and brake lever. Housey edge tail light. I had some LED indicators. Had to muck around to get a flasher unit so that they'd flash at the correct rate. And also got the TRD speedo recalibrator. That's a great little tool. Helps you to realign your speedometer after doing any gearing changes. The beauty of that is, of course, you just reprogram it depending on your changes. So I had one set of programs when I was running 1344, and now that I'm running 1348, I simply reprogrammed it. So yeah, good little tool. And also got this really swish rear luggage rack. Skaggs Moto design. It's a beautifully crafted thing, and it seems to be quite a bit of thought gone into its design, but seemed to be incredibly expensive for what it was. It's billet aluminium, it weighs a peanut, and strong as. And just the way it's all laid out with the various different slots in it, it's actually quite good for strapping things onto it. But as I said, it was a very expensive bit. Yeah, so the mighty CRF, I love her. I don't know that... Yeah, there'd be plenty of people out there who own a CRF who won't have modified theirs in the way I've modified mine. The steps I've taken are designed at, well, some of them are things anyone should do to one of these if they plan on doing any serious riding off-road. But the gearing changes in particular may not suit everyone. I definitely recommend you went to something like even 1340, so just changing that front sprocket, that's a great thing to do. But 1342 would probably be a nice mix for your average bloke who wants to mainly ride on the street, use it as a commuter, and then hit the trails on the weekend for some stuff like this. It's fairly easy. 1344 was what I ran with for a long time, and I really liked that gearing. It still wasn't too low geared on the highway. Got a bit buzzy at 100 kilometres an hour, but it was pretty good. Now that I've gone to the 1348, well, yeah, I'm not going to be doing much highway at 100. It's capable of doing it, but I just don't enjoy sitting on a bike that's revving that hard. So if you're looking to get one of those things and you want it as a commuter bike that you can occasionally hit the trails on, I'd start off by dropping that front sprocket to a 13 tooth. Do it immediately. These bikes are so overgeared in standard form. And after that, you may even want to go, change that rear sprocket to a 42 or 44 tooth, depending on how hardcore you are when you get off-road. At 1348, and with the exhaust and airbox mod and the revised fuel programming, I can actually pop the front wheel on this from a rolling start in first gear, which didn't have a hope in hell of doing previously. So that's good. I enjoy that. and yeah, I've just always got enough oomph when I need it. That was sitting in just fractionally too high a gear then. There you go, I was in fifth, pulling away at 60 kilometres an hour. So, alright, so let's talk CRFs and what I think of them. Negatives on these bikes as they come out standard: they're too highly geared, they're too heavy, a little bit underpowered, and crap suspension. That's probably about it. Gearing you can fix really quickly and easily and cheaply. A little bit extra power, well, that costs a few dollars more. And weight, there's only so much you're ever going to be able to do about that. But changing to a non-steel muffler, like an aftermarket exhaust, that's a really good start when it comes to reducing weight on your bike. Makes a big difference. So, I don't know, if I were to tell you what I spent on the bike in terms of modifying it. So we're talking Australian dollars, so I'll give you an idea. Purchase price first up, I think, was around about, I think on road, 8,200. Since then, I've probably spent another 3,500 modifying it. Which is, to some people's minds, a bit crazy. Certainly, in my wife's opinion, that's just stupid. Why would you do that? But I enjoy it. I've had a lot of fun modifying the bike.